Welcome all of you in this tutorial of Apple stock price prediction and forecasting using LSTM neural network part 2. So I suggest that please see the part first to get exact information or detailed information about LSTM neural network. I already explained step by step about LSTM neural network in part first. So please visit part first before seeing this second part. So I request all of you to see the part first to get better idea about LSTM neural network. These are the required coding that I have already done in part first. So please visit part first. In the part first, we see the prediction of the stock prices using LSTM neural network, and in second part, we see the time series forecasting about stock prices using LSTM neural network. So I already explained detail about it in part first. So now we import in first all basic libraries and the libraries which are used for model our neural network. For that we import sequential from keras.models and dense LSTM and dropout. These are the layers which are import from keras.layers library. So let's execute our code. Now we are going to import our data set. Our data set consists of only two columns, that is nothing but date and open stock price, and other columns are already removed. So you can see here I already give ilog command to remove these columns, and I only stored the date and open column. So here we use whole data set, that is nothing but data from 1st January of 2018 to 11th June of 2020. We will be using stock prices from 1st June of 2018, 1st January of 2018 to 11th June of 2020, and try to forecast the future values, that is nothing but 12th June, 13th June stock prices value, and so on. So this is our data. Now we are going to index our column. Here we indexing our date column. Now we are going to see this is our indexed is changed. Here we can see our index is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 614. But now our indexing will be changed. Now our indexing is date. After that we go for data normalization. As a rule of thumb, whenever you use a neural network, you should normalize or scale your data. We will use min-max scaler class from this sklearn preprocessing library to scale our data between 0 and 1. The future range parameter is used to specify the range of scale data. Here we can see we specify the feature range between 0 and 1. Now our data is scaled between 0 and 1. Let's execute our code. Now we convert our training data, that is LSTM train data, to right shape, that is the shape which is accepted by LSTM neural network. I already explained about deep in part first, so please visit part first to get exact information about that. As I said earlier, in time series problem we have to predict a value at time t based on the data from t minus n days, where n is the number of time steps. In this we are going to predict opening stock price of the data based on opening stock price for the past 60 days. One feature set should contain opening stock price for the past 60 days, while the label or dependent variable should contain the stock prices of the 61st day. Here we can see I have made a one function, that is nothing but forecast feature set and labels. Forecast feature set contain past value and label contain our targeted future value. That is nothing but for example we have 61th observation is stored in the labels, that is our obtained or predicted observation, or for past values are stored in feature set. So let's execute our code. Here we use this loop for doing this. Now after that we are going to make an array of our forecast feature set and our labels. After that we make our data which is ready for LSTM neural network. That is nothing but LSTM neural network should accept the data which consists of 3 dimensions. That is, first dimension nothing but total number of rows. Second dimension is nothing but how much time steps are, that is nothing but how much past values which are used to forecast the future value. And third is nothing but total number of columns which are being used in the LSTM neural network or in data. So this is the required command to make a data which is ready for LSTM neural network model. Now we are going to train our model. Before that, we make our data in three-dimensional format. First is total number of rows, second is total number of time steps, and third is total number of column. So you can see here we reshape our data in this three dimension. Now we are going to train our model. So we have pre-processed our data. First of all, we are going to train our model because it requires some time, and it is so time consuming. That's why I already done it. So we have pre-processed our data and have converted it into a desired format. Now it's time to create our LSTM. The LSTM model that we are going to create will be sequential model with multiple layers. We will add 4 LSTM layers to our model, followed by a dense layer that predict the future stock. So you can see our model is still running here. These are the each epoch is running. Our third epoch is still running. I give the total number of epoch is 50. So before that, I will explain in deep about this our model. Our model consists of sequential. After that, we add some layers, our LSTM layers. LSTM layers consist of 50 units. That is nothing but 50 number of neurons in each layer of neural network. After that, we give return sequence should be true. That is nothing but we have to add some further layers. That's why we give return sequence as a true. After that, we give input shape. That is nothing but shape which is accepted by LSTM neural network. That is nothing but the data should shape into three dimension. That is, first dimension is nothing but total number of rows. Second dimension is nothing but total number of time steps which are being used for forecasting or predicting the future observation. And third is total number of columns. After that, we add dropout layer. Dropout layer here we use 0.2. That is nothing but 2% of neurons should be activated in each layer of neural network. That is, while our neural network is running in forward direction, then only 2% of neurons should be activated at each step or each layer. After that, we apply dense layer. It consists of only 1 unit because our output value should is only one value, contain only one value. That's why we give dense as a 1. You can change these parameters or values to increase your accuracy. After that, we compile our model by using some optimizer. Here we use ADAM optimizer. Actually, it is one of the best optimizer. ADAM is nothing but adaptive moment estimator. This is the long form of this ADAM. And here we use loss function as a mean square error. You can see here loss. Our loss is in decreasing order. At each step, it is decreased. Here we can see we have 50 epoch. Each epoch consists of some iteration. For example, if we have 2000 of number of observation in training, then and we make a batch size of 500, then each epoch consists of 4 iteration, and each iteration consists of one batch. That is nothing but each iteration consists of 500 of observation. It passes 500 of observation at each iteration, and if you have 2000 of observation, then in one epoch there is 4 iteration of 500 of batch size each. So now our 26th epoch is still running, so we have to wait some time, guys. So sorry for that, because it is actually a heavy model. It requires some time. So you have to give this particular parameters of particular layers. You have to add this particular layers to increase the accuracy of our model. Here we use input as our forecast feature set. That is nothing but this forecast feature set. You can see here forecast feature set. That is nothing but forecast feature set consists of past values. That is nothing but we use 60 past values to forecast the future 61th value. So our feature set is created by one loop. That is nothing but this for loop. This for loop can store the future forecast future set or past values to forecast the future value, and our labels contain the future value. That is nothing but our predictor or forecasted value. We stored our predictor or forecasted value in this label. So this is the required procedure to run LSTM model. Our LSTM model is still running, so we have to wait for some time. Our I think here 35th epoch is still running. Each epoch consists of some iteration. That is nothing but each iteration consists of one batch. So we have to wait for some time. So we have to wait. You can skip this 90 or 60 or 290 seconds to get to the second steps or further steps directly. So 39th epoch is running, so we have to wait some time for that. So after that we are going to forecast our future value. So for that we have to wait some time. Our 10 epoch is still remaining. While that I explain the whole procedure again. First of all, we import all the libraries. After that we import our dataset. Here we use whole dataset, Apple stock price dataset. You can use the stock price dataset of another organization also. You can take from Google, as well as you can take it from Microsoft also. So I will give the link in the description, so you can get the data from that. I will give Yahoo Finance a link. So after that we are going to make you have to change indexing. Here we index our all these opening stock price value by its date. After that we go for data normalization. In neural network you should have to go for data normalization. So after that we go try to obtain our right format of our data. So these are the three steps which are required for converting our raw data to our data which are accepted by LSTM neural network. So these are the three steps. So after that we run our model. Our 49th or it's almost done. Our 50th epoch is running. So now after that we are going to store our output value in this forecast list. Now we make a function forecast list to store all values of our output. So output values are stored in this forecast list. We apply our model on our data and try to store our output in forecast list. So let's execute our code. You have to just copy this command or copy this code to do this. After we make a data frame of our stored values, that is nothing but predicted value. So let's see. You can see here, this is our actual value. Open column consists of our actual value and prediction column consists of our actual output given by our model. So our model quite run very well because our opening price are approximate, our predicted stock price are quite approximate to opening actual stock price. After that, so you have to do these two steps. You have to just run this code to do this. After that we are going to add some future dates. That is nothing but we have data till 11th June, but after that we have to forecast. So we have to for that we have to add some dates. That is nothing but 12th June, 13th June and so on. For that we have to run this command to add some dates. Here I add 60 days, future 60 days, and try to forecast the values for that. We have data till 11th June, or we try to forecast the future 60 days data of the stock prices. For that we have to run this code. Our code is executed here. You can see here we have future dates 12 June, 13 June, 14 June, but we do not have any data about opening stock price. For that we have to try to forecast by using our model. For that we have to go further. Now you can see here, so we make a data frame of forecasted values and store the forecasted stock price value in prediction column. Again we do apply this our model on this data, that is nothing but future dates data, or try to forecast. That is nothing but we use this forecasted or future dates and apply our model on it and try to obtain the prediction of this future stock price. You can see here this is our values for our future stock price. You can see we do not have actual values, but our model predicted value are these. This is for 12 June, 13 June, 14 June and so on. This is our forecasted value. We do not have data for that. but we forecast by using our model, or these are our forecasted value which are obtained by our model. For that we have to run this code. So you would just directly copy it from my video. So after that we see the graph of our future stock price value. Let's see. Now we make a plot of past values and forecasted value. Let's see the trend of our forecasted value. You can, we have to, here we have some error. Actually there is one error. For that I have to just change this name and like this. So we have to just change, just copy and just 1 second. You have to just do this. You can see here. Okay, again there is an error. So what is the error? df.proj is not defined. So here we have to give predict because we change already name. So you can see here we have to run it again because it does not capture. So just 1 second. Sorry for that, but we have to wait for some time. This we have got actually our value, but we have to draw some graph of that. For that we have one error. Sorry, here I got the error. You can see here our df.predict is not given here. So for that predict, again there is error. Now our actual graph is here. So if you got this error like this, so you have to tackle, you have to see where is our error and you have to make changes about as per your requirement. So you can see this blue line is our forecasted values and the red line is our actual values of previous values, or that values which are available, and these are the future values, future stock opening stock price value. So this is the required code which is used for forecasting our model, forecasting future stock prices. So you can see the trend may be somehow downward. You can see after 11 June, from till June there is a somehow downward trend. So you can see this is our forecasted value, this is our previous past values. So let's go for conclusion. Long and short term memory, the neural network, that is LSTM, is one of the most commonly used neural network for time series analysis. The ability of LSTM is to remember previous information, makes it ideal for such tasks. LSTM tried to store previous information and use it to forecast the future values. So we saw how we can use LSTM for Apple stock price prediction. I would suggest that you download stocks of some other organization like Google and Microsoft. I already said about that. So this is the required code for obtaining the forecasted values for using LSTM neural network for the stock prices. So may all of you like this tutorial. So if you have any query, then write it in comment box. Please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for get my new video notification. So thank you all of you, and I already suggest that please see the first part of this tutorial. So thank you all of you.